I was molested as a child by older girl and funding and things like that. And that, looking back, that shaped who I became as a adolescent or teen, and a young adult, even into my full adulthood. And I realized that I was pretty good at football, pretty good. Actually, I was really good. I got several scholarships: Texas A&M, Jackie Sherrill, Notre Dame, Wisconsin, Michigan, Texas, and all of them. Well, in Northwestern, I'm about 155, 160. In Kansas, I gained a little weight. I'm about 170 now. They tell me I want to fight everybody on the team. I mean, 300. So that's what I did for my last 3 years at Kansas. Getting drunk, snorting cocaine, and everything else.
What's up, everybody? My name is Mel, and welcome to Life Coaching by Mel. Here at Life Coaching by Mel, we speak truth. And when I say truth, I mean his truth. Not my truth, not your truth. The Lord's truth. We talk about the word, the will, and the ways of God. And if you're new to the channel, feel free to hit that subscribe button. We're here every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Everyone hit that like button. Everyone hit the comment section. Let me hear what you have to say about this amazing topic. Along with that subscription, make sure you hit that notification bell so you can get each and every one of my videos. Guys, we're getting to our next landmark. At the time of this video, I believe we're a little bit away from 7,000 subscribers. But whatever moment you're watching this video, please hit that subscribe button so you can help us grow even more. What I love to do on this channel is bring individuals on to share their story that can inspire us. Those that I may be inspired by, some that others may be inspired by. This thing that we call life brings so many ebbs and flows and ups and downs, and we all have a story, all have an individual journey, and I believe we can learn all from each other. And today I have a treat for you guys. I have my amazing uncle, Undra, that's joining me today. How you doing today, Unc?
I'm doing well. I'm doing it well, nephew. And yourself?
Man, I'm doing amazing. It's an honor to have you on. I really appreciate you for joining us. You know, now you're my dad's sister's husband.
Correct.
And you guys have been married for so many years.
Yeah.
However, I realized I don't know all of your story. You know,
Right.
I know little bits and pieces of it. And of course, it's been an amazing turnaround on your end. But I'm interested as well. But I know my audience will be interested to hear from you. And what I want to do, I want to start by giving you the floor.
Okay.
Just share your story, and you know, the floor is yours.
All right. My name is Andre Lofton. I'm 58, be 59 years old next month. And I've had an addiction issue for many years. And I'm a bit nervous. And so I ask you guys bear with me because it may not ebb and flow as well as I want to, but I'm gonna do my best.
Yeah.
I just want to thank you guys for allowing me to share. I want to thank you for allowing me to share with your audience my experience, my strength, and my hope. I was the youngest of 5 siblings, but I've always felt I was different. I always felt that I felt inadequate, as if I didn't belong, or I knew my mom and my stepfather loved me, but I didn't feel the love for them. By their actions and the things they did to take care of me, I knew they loved me. But looking back, I can't recall getting a lot of hugs from my mom. I don't recall getting a lot of I love yous. I don't recall getting a lot of I'm proud of you. And that's just me growing up as a kid. I had I would, I guess we can call them traumas as a kid. Um, I can recall one instance. It's kind of funny when I think back on it. I was playing out in the yard in the West Dallas Project. They got a field, and the older kids were playing football. And they accidentally ran over me. They didn't do it on purpose. And I just started crying. I could have been 3, 4, 5 years old, but I remember that incident. And I remember my stepfather saw it. And he was standing on the corner there drinking beer with his guy friends. And he looked at me and he said, he'll be all right. He's just a boy. He tough. And at the moment, I needed a hug. I wanted love. I wanted attention. And I didn't get that. I just sat there and cried. And I guess that's why, as a kid, I was so introverted. And it was difficult for me growing up. I can recall several instances. When I was about 4, I know I wasn't in school, probably about 4 or 5 years old. There was an older girl living on our block. And this is difficult. I've shared it before in my story with my sponsees and everything, but I was molested as a child by an older girl and funding and things like that. And that, looking back, that shaped who I became as a adolescent or teen and a young adult, even into my full adulthood. Because although she was older, I didn't see it as being molested. I viewed it as I liked it,
Yeah.
Got this older young girl who interested in me. And but it shaped me for later on in life. Because I got to a point where probably because of the incident that I thought I was God gift to women. I thought they all wanted me,
Yeah.
And I can remember some instances in high school, junior high, where I just thought everybody wanted me. But all of that stemmed from that incident, that one incident. I didn't see it as molestation or anything until I went to 12 steps of recovery. And those are some instances that shaped me. Another instance that shaped me, I was probably, the summer of the 6th grade. This going into the summer, that rejection, feeling of inadequacies and things like that. I was dating this girl. This was in the summer. We go to East Texas every summer. Her name was Felicia. Everybody called her Sally. And, we broke up. And after we broke up, I found out later on, after I come back to Dallas, my older brother stayed down there. I found out that they were dating now. And I never talked about that. And that just added on to those insecurities, those feeling inadequacies. And not only did they date, they got married and had kids together. And I was like, dang, man, I mean, what is it with me? I just those feelings I had.
Yeah.
And that same summer, maybe in the next summer, but I can remember my first drunk. We had an uncle who sold bootleg beer and wine and liquor, and we knew where he hid his stuff out in the woods. And so me and a couple of other friends and one of my siblings who are a year older than me, we decided to go out there and get that Thunderbird and wine and get drunk, right?
Right.
That's my first time drinking. I'm probably about 11, 12 years old. And immediately I had a blackout. Don't remember I can't recall that night. I woke up in the morning, my brothers, my stepmother, my father was there. He drove trucks. He wasn't there, but he came home the next morning. And they said I did some wild things that night.
Oh,
Some wild things that I'm not proud of. I'm like,
right.
you know, but that's my first blackout. And I don't say that because after that, I swore off drinking. Said I'm not drinking again. And a little bit, like I said, I may have to go back and forth a little bit, but
Yeah.
I can recall a time where, well, that actually, like I said, I swore off drinking, and I came involved with sports. I fell in love with football and running track.
Yeah.
So my junior year, in junior high years in high school, and I realized that I was pretty good at football. Pretty good. Actually, I was really good. And all of those disappointments that I had in my childhood, I would take it out on the football field. That's where I felt at peace. That's where I felt at home. That's where I felt I couldn't be conquered. I can conquer anything when I'm on that football field doing what I do.
Yeah.
And I made it a point. Coaches always told me that I was all of my coaches, most coaches I've played up under said, man, he's a coach's player, something to that effect. And because once I was on the field, I was always going to be exactly where I was supposed to be. I wanted to learn the playbook. I learned it, and I'm always going to be in the position that I'm supposed to be. And I got so good at the sport of football that I won a scholarship. I got several scholarships: Texas A&M, Jackie Sherrill, Notre Dame, Wisconsin, Michigan, Texas, and all of them. But I said, I've been in Texas all my life, right?
Yeah.
Don't want to go to school in Texas. Out of Texas. I want to go and see something.
Yeah.
In Northwestern, Denny Green. Green?
Yeah, I mean, I did the Green.
He was my head coach at Northwestern. He and Jim Webster. Jim Webster was the secondary coach, and they both came to my high school to talk to me. And I was like, okay. And then I found out, I heard about it, but Northwestern, where's Northwestern? Man, they said Chicago. That's a, you know, Evanston. I like, yeah, I can get into that. So they come to my parents' house, talk to my mom and everything, and we set up a visit for, I think, later on in the month. And I went there. I fell in love with the city of Chicago. It was cold. I went there like in January.
Yeah.
It was cold, but the city, man, I loved it. I loved it. So I must fast forward a little bit. Remember, I swore off drinking. I don't drink. I don't smoke weed. I don't do anything.
Right.
Now I'm in my freshman year in college. And after about 2 weeks of practice, coach put me in the starting lineup before our first game against Washington. And I said, man, wait a minute. Why you got me practicing with the first string, you know? I'm just a freshman. I'm straight out of high school, man. He just seeing what I'm doing. I never relinquished that position, man.
Wow.
I said, y'all give me this position, man. But like I said, I was at home when I'm on that football field, dude. That was my piece right there. Everything else don't matter. I remember the game against Michigan, man. We played them up in Ann Arbor. I've never seen so many people in my life in one place.
Right.
106,000, you know, and they packed to capacity, and we get beat 35-0. But but that was amazing, man.
Yeah.
And up until our 8th game against Purdue, when I broke my sternum, and I had to miss our last 3 games. And I remember I broke my sternum, and I was in intensive care because the bone had broken and it punctured my heart, and my heart swelled up, you know. And the head coach, not the head coach, but my assistant coach, Jim Webster. He come to the hospital to visit me. The players, teammates come hospital visit me. Denny Green never came.
Oh.
And that shocked me, man. He never come to the hospital. I was in intensive care for about 10 days. And I was in the campus infirmary another 2 weeks. He never came. Then later on, after the season, they fired my position coach, Jim Webster. I'm like, wow. And they didn't tell me anything about it, but I'm getting out of here. I love Chicago. I love campus, campus life and on the beach and everything else. But that's where I transferred and went to the University of Kansas. That's where I played my last 3 years. And there, would it be my first year there back in '84? I had the red shirt back then. You had the red shirt. You can't transfer from one major Division I school to another without a red shirt that year.
Yeah.
And that red shirt year, I practiced with the team, but I'm not allowed to play in the game. That was the most difficult year of my life, dude. It was hard having from this sternum injury, man, because I'm practicing. I'm not playing. I'm not playing. And during that time, I picked up my drink again. I started drinking, started smoking weed. And they would say every time I drink, we drinking liquor, alcohol, grain alcohol, things like that.
Yeah.
And I'm only weighing about 100. Well, in Northwestern, I'm about 155, 160. In Kansas, I gained a little weight. I'm about 170 now. They tell me I want to fight everybody on the team. I mean, 300 because we drinking grain alcohol and things. Those I had blackouts then. Did I realize I had a problem? No. Because after that season, next season, I didn't start, but I got a lot of playing time. Yeah. But during every home game, we go to the hotel. The whole team stays at the hotel. So we get on the bus. But before we get on the bus, me and several other players on the team, we going buying us some beer to put in our little Jayhawk bags, beer, alcohol, liquor, whatever.
Right.
And I remember playing in football games hung over at Kansas.
Whoa.
Hung over, high, cocaine, snorting cocaine, doing all the things, playing in football games. Yeah, but those just some of the things, and me not really now. I don't have a problem. I get up, I go to class, I do what I'm supposed to do, and I'm not a great student, but I do enough to stay eligible,
Right.
That was my only goal back then. Because in my mind, I'm going to the league. I don't need to stay, in my mind. That's my mindset I had. But
yeah. And I was gonna say, to go to Northwestern pretty academically strong school. So
exactly.
You had to have some grades.
Yeah, exactly. Just to get in there was difficult. But let me backtrack again.
Okay.
At Northwestern, those feelings of I'm not good enough or I'm inadequate. I can recall a time. This is not a teammate. This is just another guy in my dorm. And I'm from Texas. They're from all over, right? I'm quite sure I had a Texas twang or, and my speech was probably, they would laugh at the way I talk.
Right.
But this one guy told me, man, you don't belong here. I'm like, how can you tell me I don't belong here, dude? I'm a star athlete, I belong here. But he was speaking academically. So I wasn't dumb, stupid, or anything like that. But I didn't have strong study habits after like that.
Yeah.
And but after that made me feel a little bit more inadequate, as though as I didn't belong. And as the story go on, you probably gonna hear a lot of those feelings of inadequacy and not being good enough.
Yeah.
Okay, and my wife now, your aunt,
Yeah.
we dated from junior high up until all the way through high school, and all the way up until my freshman year at Northwestern. And she came up to visit me when I broke my sternum.
Mm.
Shortly thereafter, we broke up.
Mm.
She did her thing. I was doing my thing. I wasn't talking my whole time in Northwestern. I wasn't talking to anybody, no other female. Like I
Oh
said,
wow.
shy. Yeah, I'm this shy guy, and they already talking about the way I speak. So
Right.
I wasn't opening up. But me and her broke up. She went on to do her own thing. I guess I was doing my own thing. And that spring, I met another girl. And then, but it wasn't real serious because, like, I ready to leave. I'm leaving Northwest. I'm going to
Right.
Texas. Yeah. I still didn't want to come back to Texas, but I
Mm.
want to get closer to home.
Right.
8-hour drive there. So Kansas, that's doable.
Yeah.
Um, Me and your aunt, after we broke up, I don't remember what year, but a year or two later, we tried to get back together while I'm at Kansas. This may be my second year at Kansas. And I hadn't had a kid back home. She didn't had a kid. And we get back together. And we were going to prepare, let me say, we got engaged. We were going to get married. I told all the coaching staff everything that I'm getting married. I need to go to the married dorm so she can come with me and all this here. Right before that, I get another bad news. Feelings of inadequacy, not good enough. She explained her baby daddy, they're gonna get married.
Mm.
That stung.
Mm.
And I begged her mom on the phone, your grandmother,
Yeah.
tell her she making a mistake. She shouldn't do this here. But I guess her mind was made up. She went on through with it. And I remember getting off the phone, and I was down with my teammates, my best friend, still to this day, from he actually from South Carolina, Leon Truck Edwards, yeah. But I didn't share it with him. I held all of that in. I didn't I couldn't make myself vulnerable enough to know how hurt and how disappointed I was. So I was real good at holding in emotions, man.
Yeah.
But I swore, I said, you know what? I'm not getting serious with no woman, nobody. I'm gonna just be this player, From them molestation days, they want me anyway,
Mm.
in my mind. So that's what I did for my last 3 years at Kansas. Getting drunk, snorting cocaine, and everything else. And then I leave Kansas in 87, come back home, drinking, drugging. This is the moment I started smoking primos. That's the crack cocaine laced with marijuana.
Mm.
So this would be 87. I don't feel as though I have problem because I would find a job, get a job, go to work, and do those things like on weekends, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And this is 87, 88, right before Danny Manning and the Miracles won a national championship.
Mm.
I go back to KU with the intent of getting back into school to finish my education, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I gets up there. I find a job. I go to work. I met this girl named Angela. We move in together. as we moved in together, she was older than me. She about 6-7 years older than me. And shortly after, a year or two later, I started selling crack cocaine. I had a connection out of Kansas City, which is 20-30 minute drive up the road from Lawrence. And I was doing quite well at first until I got curious. What make these women do all of these behaviors for this drug? So my curiosity got the best of me. I started smoking crack cocaine, 1988, 89, in that area. That was the beginning of the end for me. That was beginning of the end for me.
Let's go.